Hey, what's going on, people? It's your main guy CBK, and I am here just bringing this PlanetWatch reward system, an update from the update that went, that he released on the 24th of November, right? So, literally, I'm just gonna give my review, not on the whole thing. If you're anything like me, yeah, and let me know down in the comments area below if the main reason you got in to PlanetWatch was because of the rewards, yeah, because we are crypto enthusiasts, right? If you mainly got in there because of the rewards, just drop a one down in the comments area. That's all you got to do. Drop a one. Maybe you can drop a comment down and just say, yep, definitely that's why I got in. But just drop a one, right? Just that you didn't come into this because you was interested in the air quality of your house, right? Yeah. I mean, you guys know what the air quality like more than likely because you've been living there for years, some of you, right? So I'm sure you not really that. Was you really interested in the air quality, or was you interested because you're in cryptos? This is now something that's come on the blockchain. It's a crypto opportunity, and you guys were out for to collect these planet tokens. The reward side of things, right? Because apparently we're not mining and we're not investors, right? So we're keeping it to the structure of which PlanetWatch, the company, is has said, yeah, and this is what they're actually pushing. So this is why we're here, because I am going to play the part, not the whole thing, right, as I normally do. I'm not even going to go through the whole thing, because if you're anything like me, you're only interested in the rewards, and I'm going to play the part specific to that, okay? And I'll tell you what, just before I play it, let's just go back to the white paper so we can see exactly what's in the white paper. Because what's in the white paper, if things are going to change, then I think this white paper needs to reflect that, because then you can mislead or deceive people to think. And I'll just show you what I mean, all right? So let's just go into this real quick. And this, look, this is, any business, you need to give clear and concise information, all right? So your he says not an investor. I believe I'm an investor. I'm buying the equipment which works for his system, which they recommend, and I'm purchasing a license which they recommend. So I'm an investor. All right. So this is it. Look, we got the tier 1 pixel, tier 2 pixel, right? So this is your max daily reward. Now you guys can read this in the white paper yourself, but I just want to quickly show you guys something. All right, so here we go. Look, you've got the this is the section that that I'm a part of. Yeah, maybe you got to do your own search for your own tier and type, right? But with the type 4 sensors, basically we're meant to get 23.04. Now, in the release of one of his AMAs, he said, yep, the rewards part has been rectified now. It's all done. You all guys, all of you should now receive 23.04 rewards for keeping your units on, yeah, 24/7. Yeah, for your electricity bills and streaming the data via your internet, your Wi-Fi. Yeah, this is what we're gonna give you as a reward for that. 23.04. That's in the actual white paper. I looked at that. I went over. I'll tell you what. I can show you exactly what I do to see whether I want to participate in a company and what they got to offer. Not every company I want to sort of invest in, all right, or get involved in, if that makes it better. All right, so here we go. Look, PlanetWatch. All right, and we're just gonna quickly. What have I done wrong? PlanetWatch. Oh yeah, here we go. All right, let's just bring this up here. Look, so 42 cents. Yeah. Now, what I will do, so I can see whether Is it worth it? Yeah, I'll do my calculations. How much is the unit going to cost? Right, so the actual sensor is going to cost me $500 or $600, right? So, right, okay, so I'll put that to the side. How much is the license going to cost me? Right, so calculate that. Right, so ballpoint figure, 750, 800, right? So that's what I know is what I have to invest because I want to now get these rewards in planets, right? So I know that I will be getting 23.04, call it, yeah? Currently today, that's $9. That's per sensor and per license, yeah? Some people gone out and bought 10 of them, right? Which if you have, that's all good, great. Yeah, more earnings. But that's if that stays at that price. Now I'm gonna play the actual AMA, right? Because there's been alluding to this saturation, which has been coming for a while. But from a business perspective, for Marcelo, whatever his name is, he's cool with it. He's cool with the saturation because he's running his business. This is his business. This is his baby. Our business and our baby is the sensors, the license, and the rewards we're gonna get. Right? Well, I can tell you that's my baby, right? Because PlanetWatch, I'm not a CEO. I'm not really going to receive any type of shares in a sense, yeah. Well, not to my knowledge, right? So I haven't there isn't anything there which I will benefit from other than, looking at a unit and tells me, all right, well, your CO2 is a little bit high, mate. Maybe you need to, just open the door. Yeah, but do you realize it's like -3 outside today? You want me to open the door or crack the windows? I will stay with the CO2. It's just a couple of, I had some beans last night, you see, so I'm a little gassy. Anyway, guys, look, man. Let's get into this, and I'll be back to round up.
The last question for today that I see. Since the saturation point or total number of Type 4 sensors is reached, for how long will continue to get full rewards? Honest answer, I don't know. Why? I don't know. Because it depends really on how fast we scale. As a reminder, on the Explorer, there is a new section which refers to the number in the so-called recycle bin. The basic idea is very simple. When the network, since the annual and daily rewards budget for every type of sensor is fixed, in the early stages of the network, since there is a cap on how many planets you can earn per day, in the early stages, we did not use all the planets in the budget, in the rewards budget. So the unused planets were set aside in accounts called recycle bin. So there are some spare planets which are sitting in the recycle bin. How do we use these spare planets? We use them once we reach the so-called saturation point. Incidentally, saturation, it's a word that I chose, and I realized that it was a very unfortunate choice of words because saturation sounds like something negative. I'm saturated, I'm choking, or something like that. It's a wrong word because it is a milestone. I'm happy that we reach saturation for Type 4 because it means that we are getting big. So maybe we could run a poll to choose a better word for the next version of Whitepaper, milestone 1 or whatever. But okay, coming back to the question, as soon as we hit this level called saturation, it means that there are lots of sensors and there is no a priori enough budget in the rewards budget to pay max rewards to everybody. However, tokens set aside in the recycle bin come into the game and we take them from the recycle bin to top up rewards and to reach the maximum reward for people who are entitled to get a maximum reward. And this situation continues as long as there are tokens available in the recycle bin. So it could continue for a few weeks for Type 4, a few months. The figures are on the Explorer, so you can do your own models and extrapolations. The honest answer is that it depends on how fast we scale. Let me be blunt and say, I hope they run out fast because it means we are growing very fast.
let me be blunt and say I hope they run out fast, because it means we are growing very fast.
Somebody may not like this, but I say this because I believe that's in the best interest of the project.
You heard it from the man himself. Now, this is the thing that I find very interesting. When a company is dependent upon, because it's a people's thing, isn't it? Yeah. Unless we have these devices, then the data's not getting streamed, and PlanetWatch is not fulfilling what, as a business, they are trying to fulfill. And wherever this data is going to, these people are paying for the data. So without the data, PlanetWatch will no longer be PlanetWatch. If everybody decides to plug out their sensors today, then there's no data, right? So the PlanetWatch is codependent upon the people, really, right? Not unless some of this funding is going to, going to somehow create sensors which is completely independent from us, the people, and they're going to be installed, and maybe your county or your council or whatever country, whatever domain you live in, that the actual, let's call it the government then, is actually going to start to utilize these devices, create these devices and utilize them, so we just get completely cut out of the picture. I don't know. This is a question really that only Claudio can answer. I think his name is Claudio, isn't it? Let's have a quick little look-see. I think his name is Claudio. Claudio. Is it Claudio? Anyway, whatever, whoever, right? But this is what he was saying, look. In the recycle bin, you can see that there's 305.75 million, yeah? But that is then going to be distributed amongst all of these sensors here, look, yeah? So, and I believe that's the case. I actually do believe that's the case. So you got type 1, yeah? You got type 1 tier 2, you got type 1, type 2, you got type 3 and type 4, right? So the recycle bin, this is what he said, whatever's in the recycle bin, I presume this is going to be distributed amongst all of these. Now, I know that I'm a part of the type 4, so if we click on this, and let's just have a quick little look and see what we can see, shall we? All right, so we've got here, now I'll be honest with you, your guess is as good as mine, but what does this mean? All right, right, so the transaction ID, the block 5 hours ago, there was 161.5, so this is going to someone's wallet, and this must be a type 1 sensor that's earning some of the bigger stuff. Can I filter this? Algorand Planet recycle token. Let's see what this is saying. Is this going to give me anything? Planet recycle token, has it changed? It hasn't really changed, has it? Again, I mean, 5 hours ago, 1 day ago, 2 days ago, but what is this? What is this actually saying? Obviously that's transaction ID, that's the block number, that's the amount, so obviously that's Planet, and it's going from, which is going from the recycle bin, I would presume, or the wallet that actually holds the actual the token on the blockchain, and it's going to all these individual, hold up a minute, no, it's actually coming from here to here, and all these wallets are the same address. So if we go on here, let's just see what this is actually saying. Again, your guess is as good as mine. I haven't got a clue, but he did say that it's in the actual that it's in the recycle bin, right? So what we have to do is we got to look at this to see how fast this reduces, which as more people are deploying more sensors, then naturally this is going to reduce. But then the more this reduces, or when this gets to zero, what he has to do is answer what's going to now, you know, how are people going to be rewarded? This is something that he's got to be thinking about, yeah, because this is part of his business. And again, unless he's looking to deploy sensors via each country's government, and they will then deploy the sensors, so completely, like, you know, our sensors will be null and void is the word I'm looking for, right? You know, if that's not the case, then we are the ones who are actually providing that data. So, you know, I think good old Claudio boy here, I think, me mate, me old muck, you got to be a little bit more clearer as to how you know, for the long-term sustainability of PlanetWatch and your supporters, how are you going to reward us for the electricity, for the time? I mean, some people might be interested in the sensors, but for me, as I said, look, I generally keep my house clean. If the house gets a bit steamy or whatever it is, I'll open the window, right? You always hoover, so the dust particles should really be down to the fact that, well, just hoover the place or mop or do what you need to do, dust the stuff down, right? And what's the other one? CO2. I mean, 99.9% of people should naturally have a CO2 tester in the house anyway, because you need it. It can be dangerous if you don't, right? So you take away the CO2, you take away the dust particles, and there's a few other little sensors there, blah, blah, blah. But the reality is, human beings been living in their houses for hundreds of years, right? In a lot worse situations than we are now. We used to burn a lot more fossil fuel in terms of like wood and stuff like that in the house, yeah? Because we used to have, you know, chimneys and smoke would go up there, and you'll have your fireplace and everything else. People, you were driving diesel cars and petrol cars for hundreds of years, right? And the reality is yeah, I suppose some people can argue that some people did get affected by the air quality, right? So there was an argument for the air quality. I'm not against it, but I didn't necessarily sign up for the air quality per se. That was an added bonus. By buying one of these kits gave me the air quality. I guarantee you 90% of the people that's actually invested, and I'm going to use the word again, invested into buying these products and buying the thing, is for the reward system called planets. So it's something that I believe for his longevity and sustainability of his business, yeah, to be able to produce and to forward this data onto whoever he's selling it onto, you've got to make sure that your suppliers, call us the suppliers then rather than the investors, because we are supplying the service. Make sure that the suppliers, yeah, are happy. Just like Aware Element or all the other companies out there. If you know, if they're creating all these products but no one's buying it, they're not going to be happy. At some point they're going to say, well, you know, sales is not really there right now, so things are not really going as we anticipated. Just like us as a supplier supplying you data, at some point, if it's not balancing out, I think a lot of people will kill the switch. I think I could be wrong. I tell you what, and I'll end with this. If the equipment and the license, right, takes 2 or 3 years to pay it back just to ROI, yeah, because it's got so saturated that, you know, the rewards go down to maybe like 1 or 2 or 5 PlanetWatch a day, yeah, and it's all dependent on the fact that if the price of the tokens really do appreciate to a point where it's worth it, right? If people are making, say, $1 a day, right? That's $40 a month. No, $1 a day. That's call it $31 a month, right? Well, I suppose, you know, some people will be happy for that. But then you have to think about the return on interest. So when you bought the actual device and your license, and then you calculate how long it would take just to return, you know, ROI, then to be able to sit down and say, well, yeah, I'm making an extra 30 bucks a month, guys. really good. Really? Let me know in the comments, guys. For the early adopters, it's all good. I'm pretty early, yeah. So I know I will ROI maybe in 2 months. Possibly I could ROI, right? But I've noticed the 23.04 rewards that I was getting per day is I only had that for a week. Now it's going down. Well, I shouldn't say that, it's fluctuating, but I'm no longer getting 23.04 a day, and that's definite. And they still got all this coins in the actual recycle bin there, you see. All right, so we need to really get on top of this, because one of the things that I do know, if it is it's not my internet. It ain't my internet, boys. I've got fast internet, and like majority of the people in the West, really, right, have extremely fast internet. So it's nothing to do with the internet. If the reward system degrading is if the fact that it's degrading it's either going to be the actual device itself, or the way that you guys are receiving the actual device. Maybe your servers are not fast enough to take all this data stream. So it's now costing us for something that really is down to your server. Maybe you got to upgrade your server. Maybe you got to upgrade the bandwidth in which you're receiving all this data stream. Right? Could be a hardware thing. If not, then it's an Aware Element or any other sensor company. And if that is the case, then you need to let us know, guys. The reason you're not getting your full planets is because you need to speak to Aware Element. Maybe they need to change out your equipment, because by law you should have a 1-year warranty. And if it's not fulfilling what it's supposed to do, because I do know Aware Element's support is not the best. All right, but I'm sure they're increasing because they're just getting a shed loads of new business in. So it can happen, right? But the fact is, if I think your name is Marcelo, or the Mr. PlanetWatch guy, if you believe there could be a possibility that the hardware is not up to what it's supposed to be, let us know well within the year, so we can sort of like send them back and say, hey, it's not doing what it's supposed to do. All right, I think that's fair, isn't it? No, so that everyone can come out of this feeling as if, well, yeah, actually we're getting somewhere here, you see. All right, anyway, that's just my 2 pence worth. You guys let me know what you think in the comments area, and just let me know, man. Do you think I'm on point with some of the things that I raised and some of the concerns? Let me know. Anyway, catch you guys soon, man. Peace. I'm out.